Welcome to episode 123
One,
of the
two, three.
Hurricane Mode Show. Yes, sir. And now, Dad, before we get into things, even though the Saints did finish last in the division and the Falcons have an easier schedule, it will surprise me if the Falcons make it over the Saints. Because why, Dad?
Because I know, everybody knows the Falcons suck, and they will suck. That's what it is.
Amen. Amen. But yep. All right, but now let's get into the show. As we're still, a couple weeks away from the first preseason game. As
Oh, yeah.
stuff gets heated up. So let's, revisit the topic about this showdown going on. As the QB competition heats up with Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough facing off. So, Dad, what are your thoughts about this competition still going on?
My thoughts is it's not going on. It is over, my boy. It is over. My boy Tyler got paid. Man, my boy got a bag. He got it all structured where he getting all his money up front. Man, nobody in the first round got a deal like Tyler Shough has as far as the way it was restructured. Woo, my boy got paid, so it's his job.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards that. And by the way, I forgot to mention, Jerry hopped in the chat before we went live saying that the WDN Chatline podcast is going live in a few minutes and put the link in the chat. So if y'all want to go watch that, y'all can. But yeah, I saw that. I saw that going live. But yeah, I think the competition. Look, if it was a competition, I don't think Shough would have gotten a guaranteed deal, and we'll talk more about that later in the show. But I'm just saying, I think it's probably going to be Shough due to the deal, but you never know. Like something could happen. But the Saints may have received some bad news a week ago. Okay. As Garrett Wilson signed an extension that might impact Chris Olave if the Saints are looking to extend him in the year. So, Dad, I have a question for you before we go on with this. Will Chris Olave play for the Saints his entire career if you had to predict it?
If I had to predict it, I would say no. Just the times we live in. Everybody wants to get paid. There's not a lot to go around. Once you get older, you still think you worked, X amount of dollars. So I can see it coming to where, hey, somebody's gonna pay me. Saints ain't gonna pay me. They, draft a young receiver, whatever. So, boom, going to the Jets.
All right. I think he will play for the Saints his whole career because it's like Chris Olave, he still wants something to prove, and I think he wants to. Because like the Saints, what the Saints are good at, they're good at finding loyal players. With whether that's DeMario, Cam Jordan, Lattimore was loyal for a long time, but then it was like okay, he had to leave at that point. So I think Chris Olave will be a guy where it's like, yeah, I want to get my money, and I think the Saints, hopefully get him. But now let's look at this. So like NFL, so hold on. So the NFL said breaking Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson agreed to a 4-year, $130 million extension, including $90 million guaranteed via at Rap Sheet. And this is the first time in NFL history that a wide receiver has received an average over $31 million after playing only 3 seasons. Jerry says, "Hey fellas, hey Jerry, how you doing, man?" Yeah, and by the way, tell WDN Chatline Podcast that Dad and I said, "Hey, okay, thanks." But yeah, this could be bad news for the Saints, as Chris Olave's price tag just increased and he won't be cheap. As we look at Olave's financial rookie contract, as of last year, in 2025, he will be getting paid $6.1 million under the 5th-year option, and in 2026, he might be getting paid $15.5 million. And if we look at the career comparison between Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, Olave has played in 39 games, recording 301 targets, 191 receptions, 2,565 yards, 13.4 average, and 10 touchdowns, while Garrett Wilson, who's played in 51 games, has recorded 469 targets, 279 receptions, 3,249 yards, 11.6 average, and 14 touchdowns. So if we look at the financial dilemma, wide receivers and quarterbacks are not cheap, and the contracts are only increasing. Where do the Saints spend their money? Like, I mean, you gotta pay your guys. So I don't really, but yeah. But that if you were to predict it, let's say Chris Olave plays an entire season from week 1 to week 18. How much touchdowns does Chris Olave get this season?
I'm gonna go with 7, only because there's an injury factor. Can he last the whole season? And there's also Kellen Moore's offense. I think he wants to spread it around. I think he wants to run the ball. I think he wants to use a tight end. So I don't see a big, touchdown catch year out of any of the wide receivers.
Yeah, Jerry says gotcha. All right, appreciate you, Jerry. But I'm gonna say 5. Look, Chris Olave's never been that guy to get all the touchdowns. Ever since he got drafted, his rookie year, I'm pretty sure he scored 4, and I think the year after that he scored it might have been 4 again. I don't know, but he's not getting double digit touchdowns. That's not who he is. Now you could maybe blame that on the quarterback play, but it's we'll see. But yeah, so I'm gonna go with 5. And let's look at a possibility that the Saints might go with that people have been talking about, and that is a potential trade Olave scenario, where the Saints could offload Chris Olave and draft another wide receiver to delay a big contract. So Dad, I have another question. Has Chris Olave proven himself yet?
He's proven himself to be a reliable number 1 target if he could stay away from the injury bug. Now, I mean, we was talking about, stats a few minutes ago. Well, I think he had more concussions last year than he had touchdown catches. So, I don't know. Jury's still out on my boy Chris Olave.
Yeah, I'm going to say he has not proven himself yet. He's a good receiver when healthy, but the thing is, if you want to be proven to be this type of receiver, I got to see you I got to see how you transition from these quarterback play. And I understand it's not all your fault of the quarterback play, but I also got to see can you do good when you're fully healthy? Because Chris Olave, even when he was healthy, he's been kind of inconsistent. But he's also been good, okay? He's been an inconsistent receiver, but a good receiver, okay? You can be good and inconsistent at the same time, just like you can be bad and inconsistent. That's where I am with Chris Olave. Now we look at Chris Olave's production over the 3 years he's played in the NFL. In 2022, he played in 15 games with 72 receptions, 1,042 yards, and 4 touchdowns. 2023, he played in 16 games, where he recorded 87 receptions, 1,123 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And then 2024 played in just 8 games, but had 32 receptions, 400 yards, and 1 touchdown.
And 2 concussions.
Yeah, that too. Dad, would you, if you were Mickey Loomis, would you keep Olave?
I mean, well, you have no choice right now but to keep him. I mean, is this his last year on his rookie deal?
No, because of the 5th year option.
Yeah.
The 5th year option.
I mean, if you're talking about after the 5th year, I have to see the next 2 years.
Yeah. I personally, it depends on what we're talking about. If I was the Saints, I would not pay Olave all that money yet. I gotta see it first. That's just me. But when healthy, Chris Olave has proven to be a great receiver. But let's look at the verdict. You're going to gamble either way. But I see how Olave plays this season and then make a decision. Now, this is what Chris Olave himself, not just speculation, this is what he said on the trade rumors. It's all rumors, man, in the offseason. Everybody's trying to have something for clicks, so I love it here. I love the front office. I love my coaches. I'm excited to be here, and I want to be here forever. And Connor said, hey, fellas. Hey, Connor, how you doing? Now, Dad, what would you be willing to offer Chris Olave after the year?
like I said, I'd have to see what he does this year, but top. It depends on how he does. If he has a top 5 year, then pay him top 5 money. If he doesn't, try to spend that money elsewhere and tell him, let's see what you do the year after.
Yeah. I would offer him, depending on the year, if he has a good year, I would offer him this. 4 years, $88 million, which will be $22 million a year. Okay. Now, because so if I'm Mickey Loomis, I'm sitting down with Chris Olave, and I'm like, okay, look, you've been a great player when healthy, but I cannot pay you Garrett Wilson type of money if you're not like a Garrett Wilson. So I would offer you $88 million for 4 years, which is $22 million per season. And if you don't want that, then prove to me that I can pay you Garrett Wilson type of money. Okay? That's what I would do if I was Mickey Loomis. But now let's move on to a fun topic and not a somewhat depressing topic. Who are the greatest New Orleans Saints playmakers of all time? Okay, who is on your black and gold Mount Rushmore?
Best playmakers of all time. I'm going to go with one, Mr. Reggie Bush. That's one.
Okay.
Want me to give you 3 more?
Yeah.
Playmakers of all time. I got to go with one before your time, Mr. Dalton Hilliard, number 21. He was a good playmaker for the Saints back in the late 80s, early 90s. I'm going to go with, for number 3, this is in no particular order, by the way. I'm going to go with Alvin Kamara as one of those on the Mount Rushmore. And who I'm going to give number 4 to? I'm going to go with a guy that's not flashy, but he gets in the end zone a lot. And he was a reliable target for Drew Brees. Marcus Colston. That's my 4.
Okay. So, all right. So with my first guy, now you can, like, when I say playmaker, I mean like guys on the offense. So I'm gonna, do what, my number 1 guy is Drew Brees. People may not consider a quarterback a playmaker, but I don't care what you do. This is my list, so beat it. But yeah. So number 1, I'm gonna go with Drew Brees. Okay, he's obviously there's no explaining Drew Brees, right? He's one of the best quarterbacks of all time, not just Saints, but one of the best quarterbacks of all time. The second guy I'll go with, running back Alvin Kamara. He's a do-it-all player. He's a gadget guy, and he can get open, and he can run the ball. My number 3 guy will be Willie Roaf on that offensive line. Gotta show my respect to them linemen. And number 4, I'm gonna go with Joe Horn. One of the best receivers, probably one of the most underappreciated receivers of all time, man. Yeah, with the phone stuff. So, yeah, now, hold on, bro. Why? Whatever. I hate phones, bro. Why you gotta interrupt me, bro? Now I gotta wait till the damn thing rings. Give me 1 second.
That's unprofessional.
I don't control when someone calls the damn thing.
He leaves his phone on, y'all.
It's not my phone. I don't have the ability to turn it off. Plus, it's one of those work type of phones anyway. Okay, that should be it. But yeah, all right. Anyways, back to this. So yeah, my list is Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Willie Roaf, and Joe Horn. And some guys that are honorable mentions that didn't make the cut was Marquez Colston and Deuce McAllister. Those were the 2 guys that I was fighting to put on my Mount Rushmore. But I'm like, Colston was a good receiver, but like I said last week, he's more of a Hall of Very Good type of guy. And Deuce McAllister, I mean, look, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't really watch enough of Deuce McAllister anyway, so Like neither did I with Colston, but like I was able to like watch highlights of Colston, so that's just me. But anyways, next thing that we're gonna talk about. Let's get some Pelicans in here. Zion got $39.4 million guaranteed because of something that I can't really explain. Do you think that there's a catch to this, or do you think it's just okay, hey Zion, here's your money to play 5 games a freaking year?
I don't know, but all I'm gonna say is I trust Joe Dumars to do the right thing. So, we both like what he did in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So here comes Zion. You pay him this guaranteed money. Maybe Joe Dumars knows something we don't know. Maybe he knows Zion's in the best shape of his life. He put down the hamburgers and chips and fries and all that stuff. He's gonna focus on and leave those girls alone too, Zion. Leave them alone. They're not good. Hopefully he's gonna focus on basketball and nothing else.
Yeah, look, Zion. Look, I like the deal, and look, I'm not really like I don't really give Zion a lot of crap that other people be giving him, but I will say you gotta play basketball, okay? But yeah, like I mean, it's $39.4 million guaranteed. It's not like we're paying him like a 70 or something. So I mean, that's better than what it could have been. Anyways, now let's move back to the points. Can Kool-Aid McKinstry become the next Saints big star?
He's got to, because our cornerback position looking a little shaky right now. I'm not too confident in that. I hope the run game, the pass rush comes to play this year. But Kool-Aid, yeah, I think he could be a big star. I think, he's got some experience now. He got the talent. He's been coached up really well with Nick Saban, and he had a little lame duck coach last couple of years, and over here we all know that. But yeah, I think with the new defensive coaches coming in, that they're gonna turn this dude into a big star.
Yeah, I think he will be the next big star. In fact, when I watched Kool-Aid last year, it kind of reminded me of a younger Lattimore. And I'm not just saying that because they both played in the black and gold for the most of their career. Well, to be fair, Kool-Aid only played 1 year, but still. Like, he was locking down folks. Like, he was locking down Terry McLaurin. He was locking down Mike Evans. He was locking down there was one more guy. I'm trying to think who it was. I don't know. It'll come to me. Hold on. CeeDee Lamb. That's who it was. Like, other than that one play CeeDee had, CeeDee didn't do nothing when we played Dallas last year. So, yeah, I think Kool-Aid has the potential to be the next big thing in New Orleans. Anyways, let's flip back to basketball. If you were Joe Dumars and you were sitting down with Zion Williamson, what would you tell Zion over this summer league? What would you tell him? And also, do you think that we've seen the best yet from Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen? But first, what would you tell Zion if you were Joe Dumars?
I would tell him that this is the year, Zion. If it's going to happen for you, it's going to happen in 2025, 26. If it doesn't happen, we going to look to ship you out next year. That's the bottom line, because Joe Dumars, said so.
Yeah. And also, another thing about the Pelicans trading their first-round pick in a year, like, if it just, yeah, what in the world?
Who that is?
That's the WDN Chat Line Podcast, I think.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. But also, people be forgetting this one specific detail about us not having first-round pick next year. We can trade Zion. Like, if it just blows up in our face, we can just sell out. Like, we can trade Zion for a first. We can send away DeJounte Murray for a first. Like, teams are going to want these guys. So it's not like, we're not going to have a single first-round pick next year. I mean, that's probably what's going to happen. But, like, we can just sell out and trade Zion. Like, come on, man. But yeah, I think, if I was Joe Dumars, I would be like, Zion, it's time for you to get into the weight room. And I need to see you big body some guys, man. Be that Shaquille O'Neal that people are comparing you to. I need to see that this season, John. Anyways, let's talk about a possible resurgence. Do you think Alvin Kamara could potentially have his career best season under the Kellen Moore system?
Alvin Kamara. I think we're gonna do more of a running back by committee. I think he'll get his touches, but I think we'll see a lot of the other backs in the room get some touches, and so I don't think he's gonna have such a big year. I think he's gonna be fresher in the second half of the year, which will be good for that stretch run.
Yeah, I don't look if he didn't have his career best season, which don't get me wrong, he had some darn good seasons under Sean Payton. Look, I think Kamara is that type of guy where it's like he's gonna get you 1,000 scrimmage yards a year. He's not gonna run for a lot, not gonna catch for a lot, but he's gonna do pretty well at both to the point where it's like, okay, I mean he's gonna have a good year. He's gonna have like 800 to 900 yards, maybe 5 touchdowns on the ground, and receiving is gonna get you like 500 and maybe 2 or 3 touchdowns. So I think that's what Kamara's going to be. I don't think it really matters what systems he's in, but we'll see. Anyways, Dad, before I ask you this, did you watch the Pelicans Blazers game last week, or whenever the game was?
Was that the last game?
No, it was I think 3 games ago.
I did. I don't think I watched the whole thing, but I did watch some of it.
I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep during the game. But I woke up and apparently Mr. Jeremiah Fears got ejected, and the boy Missy done struggled. Queen Flash. So out of what you saw, what was your take on Jeremiah Fears getting ejected, Missy struggles, and Queen Flashes?
Well, I think Jeremiah Fears, I think he got better as the summer league went along. You could see it in his numbers. The numbers got a little better. The turnovers went down a little bit, which was concerning. But Missy's gonna be all right. He's gonna, and Queen showed some flashes like you pointed out right here. So I think they're looking good. I think they just need to get into training camp and get some of that pro coaching, and get some experience and some bonding with the group, and we'll be all right.
One thing I will say about Fierce, he has to slow down. Okay, like the amount of times that he's rushed a shot, the amount of times that he's played so fast to the point where he turned the ball over. It's like, bro, you gotta slow down. Okay, Derek Queen, I will say this: he's showed flashes, but he's Missy, bro. Come on, man. You gotta play to your speed. Like he keeps on trying to force something up against a 7-footer and gets blocked half the time. Like you can't be doing that, man. But yeah, anyways, yeah, that's our take on that. All right, next thing we're moving on to. Which Saints player do you think has the best odds of taking their game to the next level in the new system?
I think I like those tight ends. So give me Juwan Johnson to have a breakout year. I see about 80 catches coming his way, 700 to 800 yards, maybe 7 to 8 touchdowns. Give me Juwan Johnson to have a big year.
All right. Give me Rashid Shaheed. And we're going to be talking a lot about Shaheed towards the end of the show. But Shaheed, bruh, I'm telling you, I think he's in for a big year. I think he is. With Philly, Kellen Moore was able to elevate Devontae Smith's game. He was able to elevate the entire offense. So I'm really excited about Shaheed. Anyways, all right. Well, next on the agenda, pass or fail. Do you if you were to grade the New Orleans Saints off season from the moves, from the draft, from the coaching hires, what would you grade the Saints from A to F?
I don't know. Give me a B minus.
Okay. Can you explain why?
Just because, I mean, it hasn't been anything earth shattering. The biggest part of it all, I think, is the coaching staff. I mean, we have no excuses anymore, Dennis Allen. You know, so because of that, it's in the B range for me. But everything else has just been no really major signings, not real earth shattering in the draft. Just just a steady job. So give me a B minus.
All right. The Nola Chop Podcast, aka Kai the Great 84, says, "What's good, my brothers? What's good, Kai? I've been checking out the channel lately, man. Been doing some good stuff.
Yeah.
Doing some good stuff, man. But yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, so yeah, honestly, I'm gonna give it a name. Okay, and I'm not trolling when I say that. You know why I give it a name? Because the Saints did they have the most flashy off season? No, but they did everything that they were supposed to do. They did everything that they were supposed to do. Kai says, appreciate y'all. I appreciate you too, Kai. But like, the Saints did everything they were supposed to do. They brought in Justin Reed, good safety depth. They drafted Devin Neal. If he turns out to be a good running back, then that's going to be scary for the rest of the league. What else did they do? Oh yeah, they drafted hopefully our franchise quarterback Tyler Shuck. You know, was he the best quarterback prospect? No, but that's something that they had to do. What else did they do? Oh yeah, they signed Brandon Cooks, a solid number 3 receiver. And plus, he can mentor the younger guys like Bub Means, like Mason Tipton if he makes his team. Oh, what did they do? Oh, they signed Jack Stoll. Flash tight end? No. But good blocking tight end? Yes. So like, the Saints did everything that they were supposed to do. And like, I think people get too caught up in the name value. That's not me. I get caught up in what did you do to improve your team. Plus, the biggest thing of them all, they freaking hired Kellen Moore to be their head coach. So that's just me, though. But anyways, yeah. All right, anyways. And also, because some people are saying, we're going to probably be saying this till the season starts. But, it's our time to prove them wrong. Are the Saints the worst team in the NFL?
Nope.
Yeah, look, we've been saying it all off season, brother. There's lots of worse teams than the Saints are. I'm just saying it right now. The Saints are worse than let's talk about this minor fix that could make a major impact for the Saints in 2025. All right. Dad, I have a question. Are you tired of the stupid penalties?
I'm tired of stupid penalties. Yes, I am. What about you?
Man, them penalties so stupid.
Oh man, it's stupid.
Like so
stupid.
What
I'm tired of? You know what I'm tired of, and what we need a fix to move to the next level. We need to stay healthy, my brother. We need to stay healthy. I mean, we can't have 4 or 5, backup offensive linemen playing in one football game. We can't do it. I mean, that's how you lose games. You can't go 8 games in a row without your starting center. I mean, the history proves it. You're not going to win many games playing that way.
Yeah. But look, we gotta talk about these penalties though. The Saints are last season were one of the worst teams when it came to penalties. Did you know in 2024 New Orleans was top 5 in penalty yards allowed with 1,003, which was the most for the Saints since 2020. Now let's look at teams that had the most penalty yards in 2024 when it goes by the regular season. Number 1 was the New York Jets with 1,134. Number 2, Baltimore Ravens, 1,120. Number 3 was the Tennessee Titans with 1,030. Number 4 was the New Orleans Saints with 1,003. Number 5 was the Detroit Lions with 988. Now let's address the obvious. No matter who wins the QB battle, whoever wins it will be set up for failure if they are constantly behind the chains. Like whoever our quarterback will be, if they are behind the chains, like if it's 1st and 10, and let's say Trevor Penning grabs someone by the freaking face mask, well then guess what? You're at a 1st and 25.
You know what I say about that, bro?
Yeah.
I say don't worry about it. Keep playing ball. You know why? You just mentioned the top 5 teams in penalty yardage. 2 of those teams, Baltimore and Detroit, two of the best teams in the league. So they overcame stupid penalties. So I say referees are going to throw what they're going to throw. They stupid. Keep playing ball. It don't matter if you have 100 penalties in the game. Keep playing ball. We can win this game.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Kai says they called a penalty for even little thing. Well, they called a penalty for every little thing this game. Well, bro, I gotta read this. Yeah, they called a penalty for every little thing this game. Now it's just watered down. The game is getting soft. The refs need to stop with these ticky-tack penalties. I agree with you on that. I will say this though: when it came last season, I feel like the refs weren't like 100% against the Saints last season. I will say that, but like around the league, like the refs just gone soft. So yeah, that's just crazy. But yeah. But anyways, let's look at the Saints' offense in 2024 as they were ranked bottom 5 in automatic first down penalties. As we look at Saints penalty leaders in 2024, offensive lineman Trevor Penning had 11 penalties for 135 yards. Offensive lineman Talise Fuaga had 10 penalties for 60 yards. Cornerback Paulson Adebo, who's with the Giants now, had 7 penalties for 106 yards. Offensive lineman Lucas Patrick, who's on the Bengals now, had 7 penalties for 55 yards. And then cornerback Alontae Taylor had 6 penalties for 67 yards. So I have a question, Dad. Do you think the penalty issue is already fixed?
I think, just like I said before, it's insignificant. Just keep playing ball, bro. They're going to throw penalties. I mean, just keep playing ball. We're going to get some pass interference calls. But did they score? No. So keep playing ball.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think they've been fixed yet. I think I understand keep playing ball, but you can't just be going out there roughhousing and stuff. You got to be there. You got to be disciplined, right? Because we lost the Atlanta game in Week 4 last year because we were undisciplined. That Paulson Adebo pass interference call at the put them in field goal range. Bruh, fun fact, Atlanta gained 5 yards that final drive and they beat us. But the only reason they beat us was because of that penalty. So I'm saying penalties can hurt you. I understand keep playing till you hear the whistle, but you gotta understand too. You also gotta be disciplined when it comes to that.
It depends on what the penalties are too. If you're getting some penalties for 5-yard, chuck rules. You being physical, whatever. But if you're jumping off sides and nobody touching you, and if that becomes a trend, that's kind of stupid. So you need to stop doing that. But so it depends on what it is.
Yeah. And now let's look at the biggest offender when it came to penalties, Mr. Trevor Penning. Trevor Penning had a knock for unnecessary penalties in 2024, as he had 3 unnecessary roughness penalties. Now he moved from tackle to guard heading into 2025, where he can be more aggressive. And this is what Trevor Penning said on his move to guard. At guard, you can be more aggressive. Obviously not super aggressive, but more aggressive than at tackle. You can just connect on guys and get on them early. Versus tackle where you've got a lot of space between you and the edge rusher. Yeah. Anyways. All right, but yeah, so that's what Trevor Penning said about moving to guard. But you also got to keep your cool, as there's already a target on you. You got to be careful and have better discipline in key moments. Now let's look at some rookie struggles with Talise Fuaga. He was responsible for the most pre-snap penalties of any Saints O-lineman. He played well at left tackle as a rookie in all 17 games. He's moving back to right tackle after the Saints drafted Kelvin Banks Jr. to play left tackle. Now, Talise Fuaga, this was his 2024 PFF grades as he played 1,070 snaps. 65.7 overall, 62.2 pass blocking, 69.5 run blocking, allowed 6 sacks and 39 pressures. So then I have a question. Which Saint do you think will have the biggest jump in 2025 when it comes to whatever?
Biggest jump? Put me on the spot with that one, boy.
Yes, I did.
As far as offensive line goes, or just whatever?
Anyone.
I think Brian Breeze, however you say his name. I think Breezy. I think he's gonna shine this year. I think he's tired of us, talking about him, and all this crazy stuff. So I think he's finally gonna put together a decent year.
Yeah, well, my guy is Alontae Taylor, who I'm about to talk about. As Alontae Taylor is ready to shine. But obviously, I bring this up, and we also, I'm still going to talk about the penalties that he was doing, as he was very handsy in coverage in 2024 with 3 PI penalties, 1 illegal use of hands, and 1 holding. He is moving to the star position in the new defense, and Brandon Staley has success with physical corners in this position like Jalen Ramsey. And now if we look at the DB comparison between Alontae Taylor and Jalen Ramsey, Alontae Taylor, 6 feet, 198 pounds. He ran a 4.36 40-yard dash, a 34.5 vert, and a 9.85 RAS. If we look at Jalen Ramsey, he is 6'1", 194 pounds, ran a 4.41 40-yard dash, 41.5 vert, and a 9.82 RAS. And don't get carried away, all right? I'm not saying Taylor is the next Ramsey, but Staley has had success with this type of player. And then my final thoughts are that the Saints aren't good enough to play from behind. So you got to stop shooting yourselves in the foot, okay? Now, there will be issues, but limit the mistakes and learn resilience. So yeah, that's what I'd say about penalties. Anyways, next, what is the best and worst case scenario for Tyler Shough in New Orleans, in your eyes?
For this first year?
Mm-hmm.
Best case scenario, he plays every game. He's a steady force at quarterback. He doesn't try to play hero ball. He just spreads the ball out like a point guard would. Get it to your playmakers. And, he has a pretty decent year. 3,500 yards, 19 touchdowns, 4 or 5 interceptions. That's all we need to have a decent season and win this poo-ass division.
Yeah. Now, what do you think is his worst case scenario?
Woo! This worst case scenario, he plays 3 games, throws 15 interceptions, and we have to bench your boy and be like, okay, anybody got Arch Manning's phone number? Anybody? Yeah, we're gonna see if he wants to play next year. Yeah. Anyway, that's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, well, in my eyes, I think the best case scenario for Tyler Shough this season is just to prove himself, right? Be like, okay, even if we win 7 games or have a top 10 pick, you're not going to draft a quarterback because I am your guy. Okay, and build chemistry, like don't be playing hero ball like you mentioned, like play as a team. Worst case scenario is if Tyler Shough just go down there chunking, just chuck it. Someone's down there somewhere. Then he throws like 17 interceptions a freaking game, something like that. But no, like, the worst case scenario is that Tyler Shough falls flat on his face, and it's like, yeah, we're drafting a quarterback next year, and then we start benching him for Spencer Rattler, and God forbid Jake Haener. But yeah, that's the best and worst case scenario in our eyes for Tyler Shough this season in New Orleans. Now, that in your eyes, where does the Saints QB situation rank among the league?
It's probably toward the bottom, just because we don't have any guy there that's proved himself yet. So probably bottom 7 or 8.
Yeah, I think it's probably in the bottom 5, bottom 10, because we have like 4 young quarterbacks in this room, and 3 of them are unproven. Well, no, 2 of them are unproven as they're rookies. Rattler showed a little bit of flashes. Jake Haener showed that he should be working over at McDonald's. So, that's the thing with that. And shout out to New Orleans football as they put out their top 32 starting quarterback lists in the NFL. So we're gonna go and we're gonna see where the Saints rank. Number 1 is Mahomes. Yeah. Number 2 is Allen. Number 3, Lamar. Number 4 is Burrow. Number 5, they put as Hurts. Number 6, Stafford. Number 7, Goff. Number 8, Herbert. Number 9, Daniels. Number 10, Stroud. Number 11 is Dak. Number 12 is Kyler. Number 13 is Baker. Number 14 is Love. Number 15 is Purdy. Number 16 is Rodgers. Number 17 is Geno. Number 18 is Lawrence. Number 19 is Tua. Number 20 is Darnold. Number 21 is Nix. Number 22 is Caleb. Number 23 is Bryce. Number 24 is May. Number 25 is Penix. Number 26 is Russ. Number 27 is Fields. And the teams that were unranked because their quarterback situation is TBD was the Browns at 28 as their TBD. Number 29 was the Colts at TBD. With the Browns, you got Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel. They're all battling it out. And with the Colts, it's Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones. And number 30 at the time that I looked this up, and number 30 was the Titans at TBD, but now it's going to be Cam Ward as Will Levis is out for the season with his shoulder injury, I guess. I think that's what it was. And then number 31, he puts the Vikings with TBD. I don't really think that's really TBD because I know JJ McCarthy's there. I don't think they really have anyone that's going to beat JJ, so I don't know why that's TBD. And number 32 is the Saints at TBD, as it's Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler. Now, do you think any teams have a worse situation than the Saints?
Maybe the Browns because of the fact that they draft Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round, and there's going to be all kind of pressure to play him, but he's obviously not ready. I mean, you know what you got from Joe Flacco, and Kenny Pickett has some talent. He has some upside. So that's going to be a pressure-filled situation. So that might not be a position you want to be in.
Yeah. I don't think any teams have a worse situation than the Saints because even with the Browns, it's like, well, yeah, their situation ain't great, but like at least they got proven guys like Joe Flacco. And even Kenny Pickett to somewhat. Like, Kenny Pickett played solid in Pittsburgh. Now, and like guys like the Vikings, yeah, Jerry McCarthy's unproven, but he's working with a guy like Kevin O'Connell. That made Sam Darnold look like a top 5 quarterback last year. So it's like, okay, I mean, what's really going on? So yeah, I don't really think. And I'll be right back, Dad, while I'm gone because I got to do something real quick. Explain to them why the fail counts will always suck, okay?
Well, the Falcons will always suck because they got a freaking bird on side their helmet. No, because they're just, I don't know, maybe they're jinxed. Maybe there's a black cat running around Atlanta, running around the Georgia Dome. I don't know, but I can tell you why they suck last few years because they want to give Kirk Cousins a big old bag. Then they want to draft someone right after they give them the big old bag. So, I mean, does that look like a front office that know what they're doing? It does not. I mean, just think we threw all this money at Spencer Rattler, then we draft Tyler Shuck. That's exactly what that is. It doesn't make any sense. It's why they suck, why they always suck. And if you come to this channel or my channel, you know that we don't have nothing good to say about the Falcons.
Yep. I'm back. Anyways, next thing on the list, well, for the most part, aside from QBs, which Saints player needs to have the best training camp to make this team or to prove themselves, Kellen Moore, or anything?
I think the guy that I was high on when he came out, I think Mr. Bub Means has to show us something because that wide receiver room, it lacks a little little flash, a little, a lot of noticeable names, but it's getting full. I mean, you have the Mason Tiptons of the world trying to make this team. They signed Brandon Cooks, who's probably going to be the number 3, 4 wide receiver to start the year off. So, Bum means where you at? I mean, where you going to be at? You going to be, let's try to hold on as a special teams player? You trying to get on the practice squad? I don't know. You're going to have to show something if you're going to be on this active roster.
Yeah, I think a guy that needs to have the best training camp is rookie and Danny Stutzman. Because, coming in, the linebacker room's weak, with, you got the Mario, you got P. Warner. Who's going to be that third guy? We don't got Willie Gay no more. We got Jalen Ford, but he's coming off of an injury. So what are you going to do, Danny? What you going to do? So we're going to see. Yeah, what you going to do, Danny? What you going to do? But anyways, next. That tomorrow the Saints might reveal something that will make them really drippy. No, you stay back up there. As tomorrow, the Saints are announcing some new uniforms. And the New Orleans Saints wore gold jerseys on one occasion during a home game against the Minnesota Vikings on December 15th of 2002. And they might be coming back. So how do you feel about it?
We sitting here talking about jerseys.
Yes.
We're talking about jerseys, bro. As long as they play good football in these jerseys, I don't care if they come out in green. I don't care if they come out in brown. I don't care if they come out in yellow. I want to see some wins. I want to go to the playoffs and win some championships. I don't care about no jerseys.
I understand that, but there's a saying. You look good, then you play good. So,
how'd they do in 2002?
I don't remember.
I mean,
I don't think they were good, but I know. The jersey quality wasn't nearly as good as it is now.
They had Aaron Brooks throwing that ball, boy.
Throwing that ball backwards.
Backwards to the offensive lineman.
Yeah. Anyways. Now, let's go back to basketball. Is the Pelicans' defensive woes, do you think that they're solved?
No. I don't think they're solved.
He said no, everybody. He said no. Okay, continue.
Well, you have to play games to solve them, and they're not playing any games right now. Hopefully they'll get in training camp and they'll figure this stuff out. I don't know necessarily if Jeremiah Fears and Queen, is coming in as like some dynamite defensive players. Hopefully they do contribute to a good defense, but you have to play, you have to commit. Defense is about commitment. Defense is about footwork. So, they have to get in the gym and start working on it, man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Pelicans' defensive woes are solved because I feel like with Kevon Looney coming in and who's one of the better defensive centers, like obviously you gotta play the games, but I think if what we saw in summer league contributes to the NBA court, I think the defensive woes will be solved. And also another question: what do you think Jeremiah Fears' hidden value? Because we don't really know his value yet. From the summer league, what do you think his hidden value could be to this team?
His hidden value in year number 1, I think, is just developing for the future. I don't expect a whole lot of great things. If he has to play a lot, I think that means we're losing a lot. That means we're not a very healthy team. I like to see him sit and watch for a little bit.
And before I ask you the third question on the same topic, are the Clippers trying to assemble the most playoff disappointing team of all time?
They're trying to get an old folks game going on, I think. That's what.
Anyways, but Dad, look at the guys there on the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard, other than that one championship year, hasn't done much in the playoffs. James Harden, that man is Mr. Ghost when it comes to Game 7. Bradley Beal, bruh. Every time that man's in the playoffs, he folds. And then now they got Chris Paul, who is going to be their reserve point guard. I just had to bring that up. That's crazy. Like, I don't like Chris Paul. I have my own reasons why I don't like him, but it's crazy. But anyways, all right. But now, last thing on this. What roles do you think all the rookies are going to have? Whether that's Jeremiah Fears, Derek Queen, Micah Peavy, Hunter Dickinson, and any other undrafted guys that we got that I don't know. What do you think their roles are going to be on this team?
I think Queen's going to have a bigger role than the rest of them, just because of his size and his athleticism. I think that's very important for us to have and to use early in the season. And yeah, I just think the other guys, just around for development. I mean, I think they could see some time in the G League actually.
Yeah. I think personally, Jeremiah Fears is a guy where it's like, okay, he's probably going to be like at least I hope he's going to be like a slow and steady point guard to develop. Derek Queen, he's going to be, I think, competing to start. It's going to probably be him or Kevon Looney at the 4 or the 5, depending on what they want to do. But I think he's going to be like probably the only guy that's actually competing to start. But I think Jeremiah Fears could maybe get a starting job over Jordan Poole, but I personally don't see it. And Dickinson, I think, is probably going to be more of a G League guy. And Micah Peavy, I think, is probably also going to be a G League guy, but we might bring in case someone gets hurt. I mean, I could see him making the team, but we'll see. Because it's not like the NFL. Like in the NFL, like 50-plus guys make the team. In the NBA, only 15 guys can suit up on game nights. So that's just me, though. And also, we'll just have to see with these rookies. But would you consider Chris Olave or Alvin Kamara to be top 100 players in the NFL?
Not at this point in Alvin Kamara's career. I think his best days are behind him. He can still be an impact player, but I think he falls out of that range a little bit. And Chris Olave, he was on a trajectory to get there, but I think injuries have derailed that for now. So I think he's also on the outside looking in.
Yeah. I think Chris Olave is considered to be a top 100 player. I don't really think Alvin Kamara is. I think there's 100 players better than Kamara. I think Chris Olave, if I had to like with Chris Olave, I'm trying to. All right, let me see this real quick. All right, with Chris Olave, I think he's like in the 80s. I think like he's in the low 80s. I would probably put him at I'm not gonna act like I know 100 players. Well, I do know 100 players, but I'm not gonna name them like at the top of my head. But I would put Chris Olave like maybe around 88. I think that would be a fair placement for Kamara for Chris Olave. And yeah, I mean we'll see about Kamara if he can get back to the top 100. I just wouldn't put him there yet. Now, anyways, moving on. Jeremiah Fears dominated the NBA Summer League. But Derek Queen's injury, because if y'all missed it, he got hurt. Derek Queen's injury could change everything. So first, how good do you think Jeremiah Fears was in the Summer League, and do you think he can contribute that to the NBA?
Well, I wouldn't call his performance dominating. He did, like I said, get better through the 4 games, I thought. He did get ejected one time, but it happens to the best of them, right? Draymond Green. And Derek Queen, yeah, his injury that might derail him a little bit from seeing early playing time. So we have to watch that. and see how quickly he could bounce back from that injury.
Yeah. I think Jeremiah Fears, other than a couple games or a couple plays, I think he had a pretty good summer league performance. Derek Queen, I don't really think the injury is as dire as people making it out to be. You know, freaking Steph Curry started his career getting injured over and over. So it's like it happens to people. You know, injuries are part of the game, and now he has to we have to see, can he, get better from that. Now that in your most look, this is probably not a realistic thing to say, but what has to happen for the Saints to win their second franchise Super Bowl in 2025? And I'm not saying that I think that they will win, but what do the Saints have to accomplish to win the Super Bowl in 2025 and get their second ring as a franchise?
Number one, have to stay healthy. And a close second, we have to have steady play at the quarterback position. And third, we have to have a serious pass rush. I mean, this defense has to get after people. And if we can put those together, we'll definitely win this division. And I think we can make some noise in the playoffs with that formula.
Yeah. In order for the Saints to win their second franchise Super Bowl in 2025, so they can be like, man, we won the Super Bowl back in 2009, and now we won in 2025. Yippee! But in order for that to happen, this is what's going to have to happen. Tyler Shough is going to have to be that guy. You know, he's going to have to be like, okay, there's not a quarterback competition. I'm the guy. That's number one. The entire team, like you mentioned, has to stay healthy. And third, we have to win in the locker room. Okay? Like, we need a good locker room. We can't have everyone depressed to be a Saint. Okay? Those days are over. They left with Dennis Allen left. We got to make sure that happens. You know? If that can happen, I think the Saints. Okay, well, damn. But yeah, if that happens, I think the Saints will win a Super Bowl. I don't know where Dad went, but hopefully he'll be back soon. Because it's kind of awkward right now. Yeah. Anyways, I guess I'll wait for him to get back, but we'll just move into the next topic. Joe Dumars reveals DeJounte Murray's core role. Okay, I think he's back. All right.
I'm back.
All right, he's back, everyone. All right. Well, Joe Dumars revealed DeJounte Murray's core role, and is Willie Green's job on the line. First thing, what do you think DeJounte Murray's core role whenever he gets back from injury? What do you think that has to be for the Pelicans to be successful?
Got to be a playmaker. You got to be the guy with the ball in your hands, making plays for your teammates, and also scoring the ball. So that's got to be number one for him.
Yeah, if we get Atlanta DeJounte, I think we will be successful with Murray. And also another question, which I think I might already know your answer, but is Willie Green's job on the line here?
Willie Green's going to start the season on the hot seat. I mean, Joe Dumars came in here and he threw Willie Green a little lifeline. Said, okay, usually when we come in, we change the coach, but we're not going to change the coach right now. We're going to give you a chance. So if he comes out with one of these, famous Willie Green losing streaks, we go 3-10, 4-12, be like, nah, bro, look, we're going to let you go and get an interim coach in here, and, we're gonna do this right. So, yes, Willie Green is definitely on the hot seat, and he's got to win. He's got to win early.
Yeah, I think his job is on the line with this. Like when he first got here, I was like, okay, Willie Green looks like he could be like a successful, good coach. To the point where I'm like, okay, I think this guy could probably win Coach of the Year. Now I'm looking at it and I'm like, he fell off a major cliff. All right, like he kind of, and I hate to put bad juju on this man, but he kind of reminds me of like a Dennis Allen version when it comes to basketball. It's like, bro, like he just stands there and just lies to the media. It's like, come on, man, what we doing? So yeah, I think his job is on the line this season. And also, now let's go back in time. The 2009 Saints get no respect. That true or not true?
I think that is true. Why? I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm not going to say that they get no respect. I'm just going to say where it's like when you talk about like the best teams, I don't think the 2009 Saints really get mentioned. Like I think I'm not going to say that they don't get respect. Like some teams know, okay, the Saints were one of the best teams in 2009, clearly since they won the Super Bowl. But here's a list, okay? I forgot who made this list, but someone put top 25 teams this quarter, as now we are 25 years in the 21st century, and 25 years is a quarter of a century. So, number one, no surprise, is the 2007 Patriots. All right, because this is not just Super Bowl winning teams, because obviously if that was the case, every Super Bowl champion would be on this list. Number one was the 2007 Patriots. Number two, they put the 2019 Chiefs. Number three, the 2016 Patriots. Number four, the 2004 Patriots. Number five, the 2013 Seahawks. Number six, the 2022 Chiefs. Number seven, the 2014 Patriots. Number eight, the 2024 Eagles. Number nine, the 2019 Ravens. Number 10, the 2011 Packers. Number 10, 2011 Packers. Number 11, 2000 Ravens. Number 12 was the 2017 Eagles. Number 13, 2010 Packers. Number 14, they put the 2014 Seahawks. Number 15 was the 2001 Rams. Number 16, they put the 2013 Broncos. Number 17, the 2008 Steelers. Number 18, they put the 2005 Colts. Number 19, the 2002 Buccaneers. Number 20, they put the 2006 Chargers. Number 21, they put the 2024 Lions. Number 22 is finally where the 2009 Saints come in. And number 23, they put the 2020 Bucks. Number 24 was the 2015 Panthers. And then number 25, they put the 2022 Bills. So, out of that list, the 2009 Saints, according to this person, is the 22nd best team of the past 25 years. Do you agree, or do you think they should be higher, or do you agree with them being at 22, or do you think they shouldn't be on the list?
I think they should be higher. I mean, a couple of those teams you named before that, and I think the 2009 Saints were better than those teams, but
yeah,
maybe a little low.
Yeah, it's like, at this point, I just gotten used to it. It's like, bruh, the 2009 Saints, right? They won the Super Bowl back in 2009. Like, and honestly, I'm actually more surprised because, reminder, just because you won the Super Bowl does not mean that you make this list. I'm surprised the 2018 Saints didn't make this list. That's just me, though. The 2018 Saints, in my eyes, was one of the best teams of all time. Screw the past 25 years.
The 2011 Saints.
Yeah, that too. They were up there too. So I feel like the Saints should at least had a consideration for three teams. Like the Patriots, out of the first five, made it 4 times. That's crazy. But anyways, Joshua, the Bucks fan, says hello. Hey, Joshua, how you doing? But yeah. Anyways, that's just me though with these 2009 Saints, the best Saints team of all time. Next, why Garrett Nussmeier is a perfect example of stay and develop QB. Dad, do you think Garrett Nussmeier is a perfect example of a stay and develop quarterback?
I think so. I mean, he sat behind 2 great players. Joe Burrow, Jet Daniels, and so now he's got his time to shine. So, and it was kind of up and down last year, but he definitely showed some signs of really breaking out, and I think he's gonna have a great year this year, putting himself right in line to be one of the top quarterbacks picked next year.
I'm gonna say no to this because I still gotta see more of Garrett Nussmeier before I can crown him a perfect example of anything. Right. That's just me though. But yeah, that's Garrett Nussmeier. What Garrett Nussmeier was last season, he was inconsistent, man. It's like with Texas A&M, that Texas A&M game, he can't be throwing 3 interceptions and one of them being to a defensive lineman. That just can't be happening, buddy. I'm sorry, that can't. Like, bro, he literally almost cost us that South Carolina game. Like, bro, you gotta keep your head on your shoulders. And speaking of shoulders, who has the biggest chip on their shoulder this season for the New Orleans Saints, Dad?
The biggest chip on their shoulder is one Coach Kellen Moore. He's got a chance to be a head coach in this league, so I'm sure he's going to be out there to prove something this year. So I'm going to go ahead and say Coach Kellen Moore.
Yeah, I'm going to say who has the biggest chip on their shoulder. I think it's going to be Tyler Shuck. Coming in here as rookie year at quarterback, what can you do? You can always get a guy like Jaden Daniels, a guy that comes in his rookie year and is one of the best quarterbacks in the league already. But you can also get a rookie quarterback like Jamarcus Russell, who 3 years later is not even in the NFL. What side of the coin you're going to be on? What side of the coin? That's just me, though. Next thing on the list, Saints fans get huge news about the new defensive. Well, Saints fans got huge news about the new defense from stud rookie. So let's take a sneak peek of Brandon Staley's defense, as the Saints defense is expected to run a 3-4 base scheme, which is 3 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers, and 4 DBs. The core principles, versatility and flexibility, and also you want to be able to defend all types of offenses, and also the hire of Bo Davis is huge for the defensive line. Let's look at the Saints defense in 2024. Opponents' points per game, 23.4, 19th in the NFL. Opponents' yards per game, 379.9, 30th in the NFL. Opponents' third down conversion percentage, 21st in the NFL. Opponents' red zone scoring percentage when it comes to touchdowns, 55.56%, 14th in the NFL. Opponents' yards per play last season, 5.8, 27th in the NFL. Total sacks, they got 29, which was tied for 18th in the NFL. Opponents' yards per rush, 4.9, which was 30th in the NFL. Opponents' rushing yards per game was 141.4, which was 30th in the NFL. Opponents' yards per pass last season, 7.3, 20th in the NFL. Opponents' pass yards per game last season, 238.5, 28th in the NFL. Now, Dad, I have a question for you. Are you happy with Brandon Staley being the Saints' new defensive coordinator?
Yes, I am, buddy boy. I do like Brandon Staley's defense. He's proven himself in this league to be a good defensive mind and have some good defensive units. We all know he flopped as a head coach, but he may get his chance again soon. But right now, I expect him to have a big year calling plays for the Saints defense.
I'm going to say no until I see him coach this team on defense. All right, I'm not trying to boast this guy up before I see him coach, because I did that with Dennis Allen and I did that with Clint Kubiak. So at this point, go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead. But yeah, now let's look at rookie linebacker Danny Stutzman, who is 6'3" and a fourth, 233 pounds, out of Oklahoma. In 2024, he had 109 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. And let's look at one possession losses in 2024, which some came down to defense, and most of them actually did. So week 3, hosting the Eagles, you lost 15-12. Week 4 at the Atlanta Falcons, you lost 26-24. Week 9 at the Carolina Panthers, you lost 23-22. Week 13, when you were hosting the Los Angeles Rams, you lost 21-14. Week 15, hosting the Washington Commanders, you lost 20-19. And Week 18 at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you lost 27-19. So it's like, it's just like, okay, we'll see, and Yeah, go watch Saints Now by Chat Sports, where Danny Stutzman was on an interview and he was talking about most of the stuff that we were just talking about right now. So yeah. Anyways, all right. Next thing, Dad, what are the top headlines heading in to Saints training camp?
Top headlines is the quarterback battle, is this new look 3-4 defensive scheme, and of course, Kellen Moore, the new head coach of the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, I think the headlines are just like, what you said, man. Kellen Moore, what's he going to do his rookie season as a head coach? Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler battling it out, and etc. So we're just going to have to see. And also, let's get back to the Derek Queen thing. As he suffered a major wrist injury. Are the Pelicans cursed, Dad?
Pelicans and Saints, are they cursed? I don't know. I mean, they use the same building, the same facilities, but nobody can stay healthy. There might be a black cat running around the Saints facility or something. I don't know. But I don't believe in curses, though. I'll just say that. But I believe in bad luck. They may have some bad luck.
Look, the Pelicans did something in their past life that God did not approve of, and yeah, they're cursed, bro, because I don't know what is going on, bro. It's like every single time we get a rookie, they get hurt. Like, bro, it's crazy. Like, hopefully Derek Queen can play because we traded a first-round pick for Derek Queen. So, I mean, come on, Derek Queen. Let's get back on the court as soon as possible. Now, Dad, who are your top 10 Saints players entering 2025?
Top 10 players, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Go with, top 10 as far as what I think the best 10 players are going to be this year.
Yeah.
Or what they've done in the past. How we do this.
Like, so if you had the crystal ball, right, and like the top 10 Saints players that performed this season, who do you think that is from 10 to 1, or it doesn't even have to be in an order? Like, just who do you think is going to be like the top 10 player for the Saints in 2025?
Rashid Shaheed, Alvin Kamara. I'm going to go Bub Means. Come on, Bub.
Okay, Bub Means.
I'm going to go Juwan Johnson. I'm going to go Kool-Aid McKinstry. I'm going to go Alante Taylor. I'm going to go Grandison.
Okay.
I'm going to go give me some offensive linemen in there. I'm going to go Trevor Penning. I like Penning. I mean, a lot of you don't, but I like Penning. I'm going to go I got two more. I'm going to go Demario Davis. I'm going to go Pete Warner, linebacking crew. Come on.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, that was 10, right? Yeah. All right. So, for me, I'm going to go Alvin Kamara. I'm going to go Talise Fuaga. I'm going to go Brandon Cooks. I'm going to go Trevor Penning. Okay, the next guy I'm going to go with, give me Jordan Howden. He's going to surprise some of y'all. Give me Jordan Howden.
Is he still on the team?
Yeah. Give me Cesar Ruiz. Okay. I need that Caesar. Give me, let's see who else. Eric McCoy. So I need 3 more. Give me, honestly, Dad, you may not like this, but give me my boy Cameron Jordan. I think he's gonna find his way back. Maybe not the prime form, but I think he's gonna be pretty good. So let's see that. Let me just count real quick. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 9, give me Foster Moreau. I understand he's the backup tight end, but I could see him doing some great things this year. And for my number 10 spot for the New Orleans Saints in 2025, give me And you know what? I'm gonna give the kicker some love. Give me Blake Groupie. I think he's gonna make not one, not two, but 3 game-winning field goals this year. Book it. Bam. Yep. So that's my top 10. All right. Now let's move on to something else. There was a bold prediction as a recruiting expert picked the LSU Tigers to win the national championship. Do you agree or disagree with this recruiting expert?
I think they will definitely be in the playoff hunt. And once you're in there, anything can happen. But, I mean, it's too early. We haven't seen these dudes play a game yet. So, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm gonna go ahead and say no, just because it's too hard to predict. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no as well. It's like, I mean, LSU, they're fighting with a lot of teams. Like, I think LSU definitely have one of the better off seasons in college football. But like, I mean, we got to see how Garrett Nussmeier performs. We got to see how this receiving room does. Because we lost C.J. Daniels. Rest in peace, Kyron Lacey's. Like, LSU. There's a lot of holes, I would say. That's their defense. We got to see if that can do anything this year. So yeah. And also, breaking news happened this past week as the New Orleans Saints and Tyler Shough agreed to a $10.7 million contract. How do you feel about the signing of Tyler Shough?
Well, I mean, we had to sign him.
Yeah.
Definitely to get him in there. So, yeah, sign him, signed, sealed, delivered. Time for training camp next week. Go get him, boy. Go get him.
Yeah. Now, I think this deal is to be determined. Like, even if Tyler Shough gets cut next year, we're still gonna be paying him all the 4 years. So that's the only negative part about it, is that even if Tyler Shough sucks, we're still gonna have to pay him. But let's just hope for the best, please, because there's not been too many bests going on. Anyways, next thing. The Saints have the most polarizing rookie in the NFL. As Warren Sharp said, Tyler Shough is polarizing for several reasons. This is what he said on Tyler Shough. Standing at 6'5" and weighing 219 pounds, Shough possesses a strong arm with a clean, compact release, allowing him to generate significant velocity on downfield throws. Despite his size, Shough is an above-average athlete. He can extend plays with his legs and is effective on designed rollouts. He has high football IQ. And Tyler Shough has played in a variety of offensive systems. 2018, he was in the Pac-12 with Oregon. 2019, he was in the Pac-12 with Oregon as a freshman. 2020 was with Oregon inside the Pac-12. And 2021, went over to Texas Tech in the Big 12 as a junior. 2022 was over at Texas Tech in the Big 12 as a senior. 2023 was with Texas Tech in the Big 12 as a senior quarterback. And then 2024, he went over to Louisville in the ACC as a senior quarterback. 3 different conferences he played in. And Warren Sharp said this on Tyler Shough. His ability to process information quickly and make full field reads is a strength that aligns well with the Saints' offensive schemes. He also played 7 years in college. So he's a double-edged sword. And let's look at this polarizing player, Tyler Shough, who is 6'5" and an eighth, 219 pounds. His college was obviously Louisville, and in his career, he was 599 for 951, 7,820 yards, 59 touchdowns, and 23 interceptions. So, I have a question, Dad. Can Kellen Moore coach the panic out of Shough, if you know what I mean?
Well, I actually don't know what you mean. The panic.
Like, can he coach him to not just throw risky passes because he's about to get sacked or whatever?
Well, I mean, a lot of times when you're a quarterback and these big dudes come running at you, sometimes you freak out. So Tyler Shough, he needs to not freak out as much. So, and can Kellen Moore coach that out of him? Maybe. I mean, Kellen Moore was a quarterback. I'm sure he freaked out a whole lot. So I'm sure he can impart some wisdom down to the young man.
Yeah, I don't think Kellen Moore can coach the panic out of Shuck, but I think what he can do is cause like, look, panicking. I don't really think is something that can really be coached. It just has to. I think over time, Shuck can learn to be patient. That's me. But also, do you think Tyler Shuck is labeled as a pocket passer?
Yes, I think they label him that way, but I have seen some video of him at Louisville using his legs to extend plays and pick up first downs. So he's not a statue back there.
Yeah, I don't think Shuck is a pocket passer because I think he can use his feet. I think he can use his feet. So we're gonna have to see with that. Now Shuck, well, all right, yeah, Shuck is a capable athlete, but given the injury history, he might operate in the pocket. However, I will say that. Warren Sharp said this on Tyler Shuck as well. To succeed as a pocket passer, Shuck will need to demonstrate a high level of accuracy, something which he did not do in his college career. Based on route adjusted data, Shuck's on target rate was 0.5% above expected over the last 3 years overall and 3% below expected on explosive routes. Routes which produce an average of 20 or more yards per reception. Now, worst case scenario, Shuck is a high level backup throughout his career. So that's the thing with that. And also, all right, but yeah, now let's go back to the basketball. Can Joe Dumars unlock Zion Williamson?
I think he can. He's got a lot of experience building a team, building championship teams, building teams that have been successful. So if anybody can do it, I think Joe Dumars can do it, and he's old school. You know how I am about that old school.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he will be able to unlock Zion. Like, we're talking about an NBA champion, Joe Dumars. So I think he will get the best out of Zion. Yeah. But now, how do you feel about the Saints signing him on the fully guaranteed deal? Because that means even if he sucks, we still got Bam. How do you feel about Tyler Shuck getting that fully guaranteed deal?
Well, I think he'll be around regardless. I mean, you don't usually give up on quarterbacks until after about 3 or 4 years anyway. So even if he sucks and we have to move on from him, I mean, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Dad, you got anything else for the fans?
Nope, we good.
All right, where can they find you?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, Mic'd Up Sports, on right here, Hurricane Mike Show, every week.
Yeah, you can always find me at Hurricane Mike, Kyle Phelps, and Keeping It Real Who Dat Sports Podcast. Shout out. Hold on. All right, bye, Connor. Yeah, shout out to Jerry G, Connor, and the Nola Chop Podcast. Kai the Great 84 for popping in. And Dad, we're gonna leave them as always with a who dat. And don't be a what?
Don't be a Falcon fan. Don't be those boys.
Don't be them, man.
Mm-mm.